The call came at 2:47 p.m. while I was under a Ford F-150, elbow deep in an oil change. My manager, Tony, never interrupted me during work unless it was an emergency. "Diego, your neighbor's on the line. Says it's urgent about your baby." I slid out so fast I cracked my head on the bumper. Maria, our elderly neighbor, was sobbing before I even said hello. "They took her, Diego. Your wife's parents. They came with a van and took little Sophia." I tried to stop them, but... "What do you mean they took her?" My hands were shaking, leaving oil smudges on the phone. "Where's Natalie?" She was screaming, crying. They pushed her down and drove away. I called 911, but... I dropped the phone and ran. Didn't tell Tony, didn't clock out, just ran the 8 blocks home in my oil-stained coveralls. My work boots slapped against the pavement as one thought played on repeat. Sophia. My 6-month-old daughter. Gone. Natalie was on our front steps, still in her barista uniform from the morning shift, talking to 2 police officers. Her face was swollen from crying, and when she saw me, she collapsed into my arms. "They took her, Diego. My parents took our baby." Officer Rodriguez, according to his badge, stepped forward. "Sir, I need you to calm down and tell us exactly what happened." "I wasn't here," I said, holding Natalie. "I was at work." "What did they say? Where did they go?" Natalie pulled back, her voice breaking. "They said we weren't fit parents. That Sophia deserved better than a 1-bedroom apartment and parents who work minimum wage. They said they were taking her to give her a proper life." "That's kidnapping," I said flatly. "They kidnapped our daughter." Officer Rodriguez shifted uncomfortably. "Well, it's complicated. They're the grandparents. Family court tends to." "They took our child without permission," I interrupted. "How is that complicated?" "Sir, in custody disputes between family members." "There's no custody dispute. We're her parents. They're criminals who stole our baby." His partner, Officer Williams, finally spoke. "Do you have any idea where they might have taken her?" "Their house, probably," Natalie said. "It's in Westmont. The rich part." I knew the house. A mansion, really. Harold and Catherine Bennett lived in a 6,000-square-foot colonial that screamed old money. They'd made it clear from day one that their daughter had married beneath her when she chose me. A mechanic who grew up in a 2-bedroom apartment with 5 siblings. "We'll send a unit to check," Officer Rodriguez said, though his tone suggested he wasn't taking this as seriously as he should. "I'll go myself," I said. "Sir, I can't recommend." But I was already heading to our ancient Honda Civic. Natalie jumped in beside me, and we were gone before the officers could protest. During the 20-minute drive to Westmont, I made 2 calls. The first was to 911 again, reporting a kidnapping in progress, emphasizing that a 6-month-old infant had been taken. The second was to someone the Bennetts didn't know about, James Patterson, the estate attorney handling my grandmother's will. "James, I need you to release a statement to the Bennett's attorney immediately about the inheritance. Full details. Mr. Reyes, are you sure? You specifically requested privacy until... They took my daughter. They think I'm too poor to raise her. Send it now." "Understood. I'll have it delivered within the hour." Here's what the Bennetts didn't know. 3 weeks ago, my grandmother Elena passed away in Mexico. Abuela Elena, who I'd spent summers with as a child, who taught me to fix engines in her late husband's shop. What I didn't know until her death was that the small mechanic shop had grown into a chain of 30 locations across Mexico, or that she'd been quietly investing in real estate for 40 years. She left everything to me. Her only grandchild who'd kept visiting, who'd called every Sunday, who'd named his daughter after her. Sophia Elena Reyes. $3.2 million in assets, plus ongoing business income. I hadn't told anyone except Natalie. We were still processing it, still meeting with lawyers and accountants. We'd planned to move carefully, invest wisely, maybe buy a modest house first. We wanted to stay grounded, raise Sophia with values, not spoil her. But now the Bennetts had forced my hand. Their house loomed behind an iron gate. Harold's Bentley was in the driveway alongside Catherine's white Mercedes. I rang the intercom. "Yes." Catherine's cultured voice dripped condescension even through the speaker. "Open the gate, Catherine. We're here for our daughter." "I don't think so. Sophia is perfectly safe. We're simply doing what's best for her since you clearly can't. Open the gate or I'm calling the FBI. Kidnapping across state lines is a federal crime." She laughed. Actually laughed. "Don't be dramatic, Diego. We're her grandparents, not criminals. We have resources you can't imagine." The best lawyers, connections everywhere. Go home to your little apartment and think about what's really best for Sophia. I've already called them, I lied. They're en route. Silence. Then Harold's voice. Boy, you're out of your league. We've documented everything. Your pathetic apartment, your minimum wage jobs, the formula you buy on sale. No court will side with you. We'll see, I said, then backed away from the gate. Natalie was already on the phone with her cousin in the FBI. Not an agent, but a desk analyst who knew the right numbers to call. Within minutes, she had us connected to someone who took kidnapping very, very seriously. They physically took the child? Agent Sarah Mills asked. Pushed my wife down and drove away with our infant, I confirmed. They're holding her at their residence, refusing to return her. We're mobilizing units now. Stay away from the house. Let us handle this. But I couldn't just wait. I drove to the local police station and filed an official kidnapping report, then called James again. Did you send it? Just confirmed delivery. Mr. Reyes, their attorney, called me immediately. He seemed surprised. Good. Let them be surprised. The next 2 hours were the longest of my life. Natalie and I sat in that police station, her head on my shoulder, both of us still in our work clothes. She smelled like coffee and fear. I probably smelled like motor oil and rage. Then Agent Mills called. We have your daughter. She's safe, unharmed. We're bringing her to you now. I broke down. Right there in the police station lobby, I sobbed like I hadn't since I was 5 years old. Natalie held me, crying too, both of us a mess of relief and residual terror. Sophia arrived with 2 FBI agents, sleeping peacefully in her car seat like nothing had happened. The moment I held her, smelled her baby shampoo scent, felt her tiny fingers wrap around mine, I knew the Bennetts had started a war they couldn't win. Agent Mills sat with us. They're in custody. Both of them. They actually argued with federal agents about their rights as grandparents. Mrs. Bennett assaulted an agent when we took the baby. Good, Natalie said coldly. Her parents had finally broken something in her. I hope she resisted a lot. There's more, Agent Mills continued. We found something interesting in their house. A nursery fully set up. Documents for enrolling Sophia Bennett in private preschools. They'd been planning this. My phone rang. Unknown number. Diego Reyes? A panicked voice. This is Martin Sheffield, the Bennett's attorney. I've just received some documents about an inheritance. My clients are requesting. Your clients are in federal custody for kidnapping. Yes, I'm aware. They're asking me to convey their apologies. They had no idea about your changed circumstances. My circumstances haven't changed, I said. I'm still the same mechanic who married their daughter. Still the same father who loves his baby. The only thing that's changed is now they know I have money. They're prepared to drop this misunderstanding. Kidnapping. Not misunderstanding. Kidnapping. Right. Well, they hope this won't affect family relations going forward. I laughed. Harsh and bitter. Family relations? They said I wasn't good enough to raise my own daughter. They stole her because they thought I was too poor. Tell them this, they'll never see Sophia again. Not at Christmas, not at birthdays, not at graduation. They're done. Mr. Reyes, surely. I hung up. The legal aftermath was swift and brutal. The Bennetts, so used to their money-solving problems, discovered federal kidnapping charges don't care about your bank account. Catherine's assault on a federal agent added years to her potential sentence. They tried everything. Their lawyers filed motions about grandparents' rights and the child's best interests. Character witnesses testified about their charitable donations and standing in the community. But the prosecutors had the 911 calls. Maria's tearful testimony about watching them push Natalie down and drive away with a screaming baby. The premeditated nursery. The enrollment documents with a false last name. And they had me. A father who'd inherited millions, but still showed up to court in his mechanic's uniform because I'd come straight from work. Who could show pay stubs proving I'd never missed a day, even when we were struggling. Who had neighbors testify about how I sang to Sophia every night through the thin apartment walls. Money doesn't make a parent, I told the court. Love does. Presence does. My daughter doesn't need a mansion. She needs parents who see her as a blessing, not a possession. Harold got 3 years. Catherine got 5 because of the assault. Federal prison. No country club minimums for kidnapping. The day they were sentenced, we closed on a house. Nothing fancy. A 3-bedroom in a middle-class neighborhood with a good school district. A yard for Sophia to play in. A garage where I could teach her to fix things like Abuela Elena taught me. We kept our jobs. I still change oil at Tony's shop. Natalie still makes lattes. We added to Sophia's college fund, set up trusts, donated to children's charities. But we stayed us. The Bennett's mansion is for sale now. Their legal fees drain them. Their country club friends distance themselves. Crime, even white-collar crime, is contagious in those circles. Sometimes Natalie cries about losing her parents. Not Harold and Catherine. They were never really parents to her. But the idea of parents. The hope that maybe someday they'd love her for who she was, not who they wanted her to be. They only wanted me back when they found out about the money, she said one night, holding Sophia. They were willing to steal our baby, but only apologized when they learned we were rich. That's how we know we're raising her right, I said. She'll never think someone's worth is in their wallet. Sophia's 2 now. She toddles around our house, leaving tiny handprints on walls I wash on weekends. She helps me in the garage, holding toy tools while I work on our cars. She knows 100 words in English and Spanish. She doesn't know she has grandparents in prison. Someday we'll have to tell her. Explain why some people think money matters more than love. Why the people who should have protected her tried to steal her instead. But not today. Today she's just Sophia Elena Reyes, daughter of a mechanic and a barista. Rich in all the ways that matter. The Bennetts have 4 more years to think about what they lost. Not money. They never really cared about that except as a weapon. They lost the chance to know an amazing little girl. To hear her first words. To watch her take her first steps. They lost it all because they couldn't see past a bank balance to the wealth that was always there. Our family. Our love. Our Sophia. Worth more than $3.2 million. Worth everything.